Hi everybody, welcome to Ecodriver. My name is Helmut. Today we go out on our Ecodriver loop with the Dacia Jogger 110 TCe, or TCe 110 it's called. We have here the 81 kilowatts 3-cylinder turbo engine, 6-speed manual gearbox. The unladen weight is around 1,300 kilograms or 2,800-ish pounds. And it's a brand new car in this market in Austria. It was introduced about 2 weeks ago, so we are one of the first ones to drive it, and really keen on knowing what we can achieve with this car. We do the same loop as always. I show it to you here. We start in the southern outskirts of Innsbruck, go out of town for about a kilometer in the 30 km per hour zone, 20 miles per hour. Then we hit the ascent, which brings us up around 360 meters, 1,100 feet, followed by rolling hills, a descent, open road through some villages with speeds between 30 and 110 kilometers per hour. And then we have the motorway and city traffic at the end. After every section we check the overall and sectoral consumption, and at the end we analyze the data. The cameras will be on all the time, for you to see the gorgeous scenery around here. When the weather is extremely nice today, no clouds in the sky, and you see all the mountains which are still snow covered. But the main reason is firstly to show how am I driving to achieve the consumption that we will have at the end. I guess we will be around 5-ish, maybe high 4s liters per 100 kilometers at the end. And secondly, to prove that there is no need to go extra slow in order to be efficient. I mean, there's this, people always say, when I go that slow, then it's not a problem to have that consumption. No, you will see, and if you have seen my videos, you've seen it in the past, that we have always been blocked by other road users which are going very slow and still not efficient. So this is for you to see that we are going rather fast or always on the limit of what is allowed and what common sense and other traffic allows us, and still be efficient. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you later. Have fun. Oh, we're now coming to the end of the climb, and you see here 8.7 liters per 100 kilometers. And what you've also seen on the first few kilometers is that not the Ecodriver is the obstacle on the road. We could have gone much faster, we would have gone much faster, but there were other road users who didn't even go to the allowed limit, despite this is already quite low for this section of the road. With this car, I noticed that below 2,000 there isn't much power, because it's a turbo engine, and the highest torque starts at around 2,500 RPMs, and below. If you need power, then you need to rev up. But it doesn't mean that if you are maintaining the speed, if you're just holding the speed, then it's no problem to shift and keep the revs below 2,000 or even down to 1,200. We're now coming to the hilly section, and when you know my videos, when you've seen them before, you know what I'm saying now. Imagine this is a roller coaster going down, build up some speed, and use this speed and momentum to get into the next flat section, the next hills, and don't maintain the speed at all cost on the way up. Just reduce the speed slightly, and when it's flat and when it goes down, then we can re-accelerate. We're now coming to the end of the hills, and we see here 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers. On the way down, I try to make use of the fuel injection cutoff, which happens when you are in gear and the revs are above idling revs and the engine is braking the car, and depending on the braking power you need, you decide which gear you use. If you decouple, then the engine needs to run, or needs to kept running by itself, and therefore fuel is injected. So I try to avoid this, but sometimes it's better to decouple and just keep the car coasting instead of using the gas pedal, the accelerator, to maintain the speed or get faster. We have 2 flat sections, and as usual I try to pass the flat sections without the use of the gas pedal, just by momentum and either decoupling or not. I'll see when we are there. .6 liters at the end of the descent. Well, that's rather impressive. I didn't expect that, or it's better than expected. The descent was almost perfect. We had no slow car mover in front of us, so we could use the momentum perfectly well. I passed the flat sections with the clutch pressed, so the decoupled drivetrain, and there was no need to step on the gas pedal. When accelerating, then it's important to keep the revs down. As you see here, it's slightly uphill here, but I'm pressing the gas pedal pretty hard, so I'm almost pedal to the metal, but revs are below 2000, or I try to keep them below 2000. Then you have a high load, low revs. That's the best recipe to keep the consumption low. We're now approaching the open road section, and we go through some villages and towns, speeds within 1300 kilometers an hour. Well, this car is equipped with a start-stop automatic, which already works despite the low mileage of the car, and with some other manufacturers they allow this only after maybe 1,000 or 2,000 kilometers, but here it seems to work from the very beginning, as this is a brand new car. Yes, you have seen it. We were a bit unfortunate with these road marking works, where we had to wait a couple of times, and then of course there were other road users who were just completely overwhelmed with the situation and didn't know what to do. And yeah, anyway, so at the end of the open road section we have 4.4 liters per 100 kilometers. We are now approaching the motorway, and here we are limited to 100 kilometers per hour due to some local environmental laws. So we're coming to the end of the motorway now, and we have 4.6 liters per 100 kilometers. I've never seen this motorway so quiet during the week. We are now approaching the city section, and here it's important to keep the vehicle in motion, to try to avoid braking, try to avoid coming to a standstill, because this means that we have to re-accelerate. But when you re-accelerate, then do it with low revs and high load. We also have a start-stop automatic, and if you come to a standstill, try to make sure that the engine goes off and that the engine stays off. So don't play around with the clutch or the gear stick. Just let the engine be off. Well, we're coming to the end of our trip with the Dacia Jogger, and when we park the car in here, we see 4.6 liters per 100 kilometers on the board computer, and I have to admit, I'm really surprised. Didn't think that that's possible. I thought maybe low fives, high fours, but 4.6, that's really good. So, and now the details. Well, now let's have a quick look at the detailed sectoral and overall consumption of our trip with the Dacia Jogger. and you see around 4 in the hills, open road, and 4.6 in the city. I think that's impressive. And if you compare this with other vehicles, it was only the much smaller Hyundai i10 which was significantly below that consumption. Yeah, I was really impressed by this performance, by the general feel of the car. It doesn't feel cheap or wobbly when you go around corners or turns. It's really a solid, well-made car which gives you lots of space for rather little money. And talking about consumption, it's not the car in the first place, it's the driver. And if you manage to obey certain rules, how to drive cars efficiently, then I'm sure it's no problem to stay below 5 liters per 100 kilometers with this car. Like reading the road, look ahead, keep the revs down, and I'm sure then it's easily possible for everyone. Talking about general tips for driving cars more efficiently, you'll find my video up here, which I've made a couple of weeks ago with my 5 tips to do so, and down here you'll find the playlist with all the petrol cars I have done so far. If you're generally interested in what I'm doing, feel free to subscribe to this channel, and if you hit the notification bell, you won't miss any new video. That's it for the Dacia Jogger. Thanks for watching, take care, see you next time.